skills that maybe you wouldn't find elsewhere. And this isn't the work of our teachers, this isn't any schoolwork, this isn't anything we're forced to do, it's things we actually want to do.
Some people like me, I come from a lower socio-economic background, so might not necessarily have those contacts with companies to get that work experience, to get that first step on the ladder, and things like this can actually get you onto that ladder so you feel like you can have a fulfilling career.
Skills that maybe you wouldn't find elsewhere. And this isn't the work of our teachers, this isn't any schoolwork, this isn't anything we're forced to do, it's things we actually want to do.
Some people like me, I come from a lower socio-economic background, so might not necessarily have those contacts with companies to get that work experience, to get that first step on the ladder, and things like this can actually get you onto that ladder so you feel like you can have a fulfilling career.
Skills that maybe you wouldn't find elsewhere. And this isn't the work of our teachers, this isn't any schoolwork, this isn't anything we're forced to do, it's things we actually want to do.
Some people like me, I come from a lower socio-economic background, so might not necessarily have those contacts with companies to get that work experience, to get that first step on the ladder, and things like this can actually get you onto that ladder so you feel like you can have a fulfilling career.
Skills that maybe you wouldn't find elsewhere. And this isn't the work of our teachers, this isn't any schoolwork, this isn't anything we're forced to do, it's things we actually want to do.
Some people like me, I come from a lower socio-economic background, so might not necessarily have those contacts with companies to get that work experience, to get that first step on the ladder, and things like this can actually get you onto that ladder so you feel like you can have a fulfilling career.
To take your seat and listen to the following safety announcement. There are no planned fire drills tonight, so if the fire alarm sounds, it will be real. In the event of the fire alarm sounding, please follow your nearest green fire exit sign and assemble under Waterloo Bridge. IET staff will be on hand to lead the way. Could we also ask you now to turn all devices to silent? Get ready. The 2024 Young Woman Engineer of the Year Awards are about to begin. Please welcome to the stage your host for this evening, Dr. Anne-Marie Imafidon.
Please welcome Dr. Anne-Marie Imafidon.
Thank you very much. Joining me in the studio is Dr. Anne-Marie Imafidon.
Your hands together for Anne-Marie Imafidon.
I've always been interested in technology and maths, and for me it's something that's always very creative, but also incredibly logical. You're relying on their infrastructure quite a lot. So for you, what is the definition, or what should the definition of a bank be going forward?
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. It's always lovely to start hosting an event by seeing the various hairstyles that you've had over the years. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the IET's Young Woman Engineer of the Year 2024 Awards. There we go. That's the energy that we are excited to have here. Thank you so much to those of you joining us this evening, whether you're here with us in London at IET Savoy Place or watching from home there on the cameras as well. It is such a pleasure to be here with you all tonight to celebrate and to recognise the achievements of some outstanding engineers who also happen to be young women. Now, tonight, we're going to get this year's incredible finalists. We're going to get to know them and also find out more about the work that they are doing to engineer a better world. And we'll hear from a fantastic guest speaker, Dawn Olsen, who is IET Deputy President. We know her, right? This is her building, this is her space. And also, we're going to catch up with last year's Young Woman Engineer of the Year, who was Titi Olide, who is around as well. Yeah? Can we get a whoop whoop for Titi? And it's been exactly a year since she won, and she was 2023 winner. So we're going to find out what's been happening in the last 12 months for her, onwards and upwards as we pass the baton on to this year's set of finalists. But before we begin and announce this year's award winners, can I please ask you to get involved on X, if you're still on it, formerly known as Twitter, by using the hashtag IETYWE, that's IET in capitals, and then YWE, and of course on all good social media. We cannot wait to see all your pictures, all your dance moves maybe, and your posts throughout the night being posted online, so folks know that we know how to enjoy ourselves here at the IET and as young women engineers. Now, I'm really, really excited to host this year as I did last year. Also excited to be in a space like this, recognising women like this. It's really, really important, actually, the stories that we're able to tell and the role models that we're able to spotlight within our engineering sector. It's really, really important actually to share those stories, because stories allow us to see what is possible, allow us to be inspired, but also allow us to kind of understand the world a little bit more. And frustratingly, in the space that we're in, the stories of women are not something that we get to hear as often as we should, given how important they are to engineering as a field. Also, many of the folks that you will be hearing from and seeing today, as well as many of you I know in the room, are working a lot actually on sharing these stories and ensuring that we have future generations of young women engineers and young people engineers engaging in our sector. And so it's really, really important actually that as we engage with them, we continue to not only tell these stories, but make sure we've got intersectional stories that we're sharing and that we're deploying equitable practice across our STEM and STEAM outreach. So I think it's super important and definitely something that we'll get to reflect on as we hear the stories of the Young Women Engineer finalists today. I think the other thing, as many of you will know, I run an organisation called STEMettes. Anyone here heard of STEMettes before? There we go. We've been running for 10 years. Everything we do is free. It's fun and there's always food. So it feels a little bit like that tonight, actually. There's food on the way. But I think the other thing that's really, really important to reflect on is actually where so much of engineering and engineers come up through formal spaces and formal education. You know, we've got our apprentice category today, but lots of different routes into industry, but also lots of informal spaces are important for us to work with and inspire via. And so again, this is something we'll have seen across our different award winners. And finally, youth relevance. If we're reaching out to young people, I think it really is important for us to listen to them, to learn from them, and ensure that what we're doing is relevant. And so it's really, really, really exciting to be able to engage with you all today, share these stories, but I'm hoping actually that you start to think about what you will do as a result of who you see and what you hear today. You will be inspired, of course, in your own careers, but how might you multiply that inspiration for others? Right? How might you be playing a role in the lives of future Young Women Engineers of the Year awards, so that maybe in a century's time, you know, you'll have generationally kind of descendants, engineering descendants perhaps, of yourselves taking up space in this building, and maybe even at some point controversially, meaning that we don't need to have awards like this, because these are names that we're recognising across all of what we do and how we see engineering. So I'm really, really excited to open up these stories, unpack these role models, and also kind of look into 2025 and how we might make things different for those across engineering too. So that's a little bit from me. I think it's always nice to share these stories, especially if you're the one with the microphone. You all had to sit there and listen to that, didn't you? You had no choice on where you were going to go. We're now going to get into the main meat of the event, and we're going to begin with our first award of the evening, which is the Gender Diversity Ambassador Award. And to tell us about this award and our nominees, it is my great pleasure, I've already teed her up, to introduce the IET Vice President and Chair of the IET's EDI Board, Katie Deacon.
Good evening, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here with you all, and as IET Vice President and Chair of the EDI Board and previous winner of these awards as well, it's my absolute pleasure to be here with you all. I love this evening. It's always the best night of the year. I really want to be able to celebrate with you all and recognise some of the brilliant and really talented young women engineers that we have here today. So well done, you all. Engineering, oh yes, well done. Engineering is in everything that we do. It's an absolutely fantastic profession that can be life-changing or even world-changing if we're doing it right. And we really want more young people to be able to see and to appreciate that. I've got 2 kids and I really want them to be thinking, what can I do? How can I make this world a better place? We are really proud of all of our women, but really in this modern age, it's brilliant that we've got women engineers who are changing the perceptions of our profession and really raising the profile of engineers among young people, among their parents, among their teachers, because sometimes teachers don't think girls should be engineers, well, flipping can. Get the media involved and get the government involved, because actually we need to change lots of mindsets. We've got 3 other individuals talking about that sort of set of people who have worked incredibly hard to be able to do this, and they have dedicated their work and their time to the sector. And those brilliant people are our new honorary fellows, and I'm so proud to be able to announce those tonight. So I'd really like to congratulate broadcaster Dame Margaret Adderin-Pocock, DBE, the engineering leader, Professor Amanda Dowd, and the UK National Technology Advisor, Dr. Dave Smith. Congratulations, you three. They have each excelled in their own disciplines, and they've inspired others through their expertise, their knowledge, and their service. So thank you so much to them for their brilliant contributions to our profession. We really, really appreciate it. So now back to this evening's award, and I'm here to celebrate and announce our Gender Diversity Ambassador Award. Now, this award is a Lifetime Achievement Award that's presented to a true role model who has championed gender diversity over many, many years. They've greatly contributed to breaking down the barriers and implementing various policies and strategies to help attract and retain young women into engineering, and that is something that we have to keep going with. Now, let's learn a little bit more about our winner.
I met Bridget 9 years ago.
I met Bridget when she interviewed me for my first summer placement at Imagination Technologies.
I've worked with her throughout the years.
I've always felt like she was the safe person to go and talk to. She'd be understanding of my issues, and she'd actually genuinely try and help come up with solutions.
She's a leader. She cares about her team. She listens to you, she listens to your concerns.
Bridget has significantly shaped Intel's diversity and inclusion landscape, both through strategic initiatives and hands-on mentoring.
She was one of the founding members of the Women in Technology group.
She was inviting men to join in because she recognised the importance of having everybody working together to make a more diverse and equal workplace.
Through her strategic vision between hands-on mentoring and commitment to empower other women, not just within Intel but beyond, has set a great example for inclusive leadership.
She works to empower all of us, right? She looks for opportunities for every single one of us.
It's really important that there is representation from all over society.
The best ideas come from a collaboration of people with a diverse range of thinking.
The recognition of a gender diversity ambassador is very important, not just to celebrate and recognise the hard work of the individual, but also on the societal level, that we celebrate the advancements we make on an EDI sphere within the engineering industry.
Bridget has been a key figure in my life, and I really thank her for that.
Thanks for being that warm and friendly, supportive figure in my working life.
Congratulations to Bridget for being a truly deserving winner of this year's award for her tireless dedication to promote diversity and inclusion.
Delighted to announce that the Gender Diversity Ambassador Award goes to Bridget Smith. Thank you.
Where do I stand? Just here? Oh.
You can, right, so you've got things in your hand, haven't you? So I'll hold this, is that all right?
Thank you. Yes.
You can stand, wherever is more comfortable.
Thank you so much for this incredible honour. Winning this award is testament to the collective efforts of colleagues over the years, especially those in Technical Women in Intel organisation to bridging the gender gap in engineering. This award is not just a recognition of past achievements, but a call to action to all of us to continue building an inclusive and diverse engineering community. Together we can create an environment where everyone, regardless of gender, can thrive and contribute to the innovation that drives our world forward. Thank you.
Well done, Bridget. Do you want to take this?
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations. Thank you. Oh, that was brilliant, and I'm sure you all agree that Bridget is a very deserving winner. What brilliant things from those people on the video. Thank you for all that you do, Bridget. Massive congratulations. So now I would like to invite our very own IET Deputy President, Dawn Olsen, to give us an insight into her career and her career journey in engineering, and actually her tips to support us when we're in our careers, and hopefully to help improve the gender pay gap or the gender gap in general within the sector. So everybody, please put your hands together for Dawn Olsen.
Good evening, everyone, and how lovely to see you all at one of my favourite events in the calendar. As it says here, I'm the Deputy President of the IET, but I also work full-time as the VP of Engineering for Ultra Cyber. In fact, here it says that. I was asked to talk to you tonight about some of the pivotal points in my career, why I ended up doing what I did, and how it worked out. So I wanted to start by explaining what sort of engineer I am and what started me on that journey. I went to the local comprehensive school and gravitated towards subjects like maths, physics, electronics, computer science, as that is totally how my brain works, constantly in problem-solving mode. Given that I was just under 6 foot in junior school, played in a brass band and was really crap at sport, I didn't have to worry about being any less popular, so actually being the only girl in those classes didn't really bother me too much. Engineering seemed a natural combination of all that, and the more horrified looks that I got when I said I wanted to be an engineer, the more I wanted to be one. I do not like to be told that I can't. I could spend the whole evening just talking about how I ended up getting to university, the first in my family to go, but to cut a very long story short, I got a sponsorship from Racal Avionics and a place at Oxford University to study engineering and computer science. So off I went. 160 students started engineering science in year 1, 12 of which were women, although no other women were doing the combined engineering and computer science in my year. The testosterone-heavy environment of the engineering department was countered by being at Somerville College. It was all women back then, and although not where I would have chosen to go, that supportive, female and staunchly feminist environment helped me to power through. Here, I found my tribe. Yes, there were very few women studying engineering, but I think that just made the bond between us so much stronger, and more than 30 years later, it is still going strong. So, what sort of engineer am I? This is actually not such a simple question. I worked at Racal every holiday to earn money to pay for my studies. During my holiday work, I worked on wiring looms for helicopters, worked in production on the pick-and-place machines, wrote a bit of test software for a satellite communication device and a bit of firmware, so already was a bit of jack of all trades and was happy to work on anything and everything. If there was a problem to solve, I was your girl. On graduation, I started working full-time for Racal as a hardware engineer on a helicopter flight management system. Once that project was complete, tested and integrated, there was not enough hardware work to keep the whole team fully occupied, so I was transferred to the software team and sent on a course to learn Ada, that cutting-edge language, to work on the next generation of system. After a few years of developing software, I moved almost by osmosis into systems engineering as we began the integration phase. It turns out that my superpower is being able to break absolutely any system, and that gave me the ultimate challenge in working out the root cause of the failures. So if anyone asks me now, I would always say that I'm a systems engineer. But it took me many years to get there, and it was built on that experience of hardware and software. I have retrospectively studied systems engineering theory and apply at least some of those principles to what I am doing every single day. This is me on HMS Illustrious. I'm very proud of this one. I wrote the search and rescue patterns for the cockpit system in the Sea King. This is what I was doing in Ada. This also involved learning about the dynamics of a helicopter and the effects of wind and sea conditions. I absolutely loved what I was doing, but I also realised that not only did I want to solve problems, but they needed to be problems with purpose. I wanted to make a difference. Over the years, I went on to work on new features and functions, systems integration and test always being my favourite. I travelled from time to time, usually to work with the suppliers of kit that our kit was supposed to control, that didn't work like it was supposed to. It'll be no surprise that I was often completely dismissed for my opinions at the outset, but I learnt persistence and resilience and would not give in until I had proven my point that they had made a mistake and the root cause of the failure was theirs. That resilience served me well when Thomson bought Racal to become Thales. There was a cunning plan somewhere in management to swap a French and a UK engineer between the two helicopter avionics companies now in the group, and as a result, I ended up in Valence in France. I couldn't speak a word of French when I arrived and was treated with the utmost suspicion at the beginning and assumed to be an idiot because I couldn't communicate. But I was determined to prove that I deserved to be there. I worked really hard at learning French from a set of tapes, that ages it, doesn't it, that I would play incessantly in the car and at home. It's funny, only when you play these back to yourself do you realise quite how old you sound. I had French for Dummies, French in 3 months, learned French with Michel Thomas and anything else that I could get my hands on. And indeed, in about 3 months, I could get by. And by 6 months, I was pretty fluent. And I was finally found a French teacher. By the end of year 1, I could be mistaken for a local. I built a great relationship with my colleagues, who it turns out actually just thought I must be an idiot because I'd come to work as an engineer in a foreign country without speaking the language, but respected me greatly for what I had achieved and had learnt to understand why it was me that was sent because of the knowledge I brought. At the end of 2 years, my placement was over and I was brought back to what was now Thales Avionics in the UK. But I now had a unique skill set of an understanding of how a global company works, fluent in French, and a deep knowledge of flight management systems, which was to serve me greatly in the years to come. The next pivotal moment for me was being proposed by Thales as a candidate for the IET Faraday Lecture presenter. It turns out that my presentation on the benefits of underfloor heating and how to install it was highly memorable, and I got selected to be one of the presenters of the 2005 Faraday Lecture, Control Freaks. This was truly life-changing. We were put into pairs, I got the ginger one, and we were put through our paces with a voice coach who had just come off the set of the Pirates of the Caribbean. We had to learn the entire hour lecture off by heart, managing experiments that were a bit temperamental, audience volunteers, and an audience of 1,000 to 2,000 teenagers, depending on the venue. We did a 3-month tour of UK and Ireland, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Kuala Lumpur. It gave me confidence and taught me how to hide my fear and speak anyway. Whilst I'm still an introvert, I put on a metaphorical extrovert coat in the mornings, and it becomes part of who I need to be to achieve what I need to. Oh, and the ginger one and I got married shortly after. This experience with the IET increased my passion for development of others and for championing the cause of women in engineering, which had been growing for some years. Another problem to be solved, and definitely a problem with purpose. I began doing far more volunteering with the IET, became a thorn in the side of the Royal Academy of Engineering and Engineering UK, and ended up serving on boards for Engineering Council, Engineering UK and WISE. I applied for a role at Thales as Director of Education, and this allowed me to shape early careers and create the first accredited multi-site graduate programme, which is still seen as industry leading today, as well as a programme of STEM activities and supporting the company through the WISE 10 steps with great results. There is something very special about being nominated for an award by others. I received both the WISE Excellence Award and the First Woman of Engineering Award, and still look at these and wonder what it is that others see that I don't. A bit like being asked to speak tonight. All these experiences led me to being asked to apply for a job in the Paris headquarters, an amazing role working for the CTO as his right hand. Apparently, he had asked for someone to work with him that is experienced working in HR, but with a background in engineering, who spoke fluent French but wasn't French. Once everyone had stopped laughing at such a ridiculous request, someone said that they had actually met this woman in the UK. I had originally planned to base myself in Paris, and my husband and I would take turns to travel at the weekends, but Mother Nature had other ideas, and within a few months I was expecting our first child. We decided that we could still make it work. With good childcare and military-grade planning, I lived in the UK and commuted each week to Paris, sometimes with one or eventually two little ones. Now, I included these photos as I think it's only when you look back that you realise how madly you juggle. I'm not sure which of us looks more knackered in these photos, but I still vividly remember the screaming and the hours before she finally gave in, and this is a picture of us on Eurostar. It did mean that I continued to do the amazing job, but eventually, after 6 years, it was time I looked for a job back in the UK. It all seems a lifetime ago now, as they are just turning 12 and 14. My final role in Thales was Engineering Director for Avionics, the same part of the business that paid for my studies. Many of the engineers were still there. All my years developing a pipeline of talent in the organisation had paid off, and I created the most amazing senior leadership team, one of which had been part of the first cohort into that graduate programme. I moved from Thales in 2020, just before lockdown, after nearly 30 years, to Northrop Grumman, moving from defence into national security. And then a year ago, I moved to Ultra. I still do a massive amount of volunteering for the IET, and I'm still applying my engineering skills every day. My system of interest is always different, but I continue to focus on growing engineers and delivering transformative capability to our customers. It's just a different problem space. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dawn. What a story of legacy. I think it's interesting that the joke that got the smallest laugh was why Dawn was asked to speak tonight. I think we all definitely get it. And maybe one day you will. If you learnt French in less than a year, then I think you definitely got that on your list. So now it's time to meet our nominees for the Mary George Memorial Prize for Apprentices. Now, this prize was inaugurated in 1985. It is awarded to an outstanding woman engineering apprentice who has made a significant contribution within the workplace and has a passion for inspiring others.
What keeps military aircraft flying high, even in the midst of a global conflict?
The complexity of maintaining these engines is not solved by advanced technology alone, but by the determination, resilience, and creativity of the people working on them.
These engines are like giant intricate puzzles. Each piece must fit perfectly together for the whole system to work.
Now imagine that this puzzle still needs to be solved whilst in motion and possibly active warfare. That's the challenge I face every day.
As a deployed lifecycle engineer at Rolls-Royce, working on the TP400 engine for the Airbus A400M aircraft, I've had the privilege to contribute to some remarkable advancements, from leading projects that enhance our maintenance, repair and overhaul capabilities to supporting critical military operations.
My journey so far has been both challenging and rewarding.
Not only have I managed to balance a full-time role with a master's degree apprenticeship, I've also led initiatives that drastically reduce overhaul times and improve engine reliability.
But I'm not here to make incremental improvements. I'm here to transform the way we approach engineering challenges, making them more resilient and efficient.
I led an effort to extend the operational life of engines used in a conflict zone. This required analysing complex data, communicating across various teams, and ensuring the engines could perform reliably in demanding conditions. Working collaboratively, I helped to improve our inspection capability, acquiring new equipment and trialling new inspection methods to reduce overhaul times by over 50%. My commitment to advancing engineering practices has also led to notable achievements, being the first female to pursue a Master's Apprenticeship in Engineering at Rolls-Royce and receiving nominations for leadership schemes, are milestones that reflect my dedication and impact in the field.
This was a testament to how small innovations and acquisitions could lead to big improvements. There's a misconception that engineering, particularly in high-stakes environments like defence, is solely about technical skills. While expertise is crucial, it's the blend of innovation, leadership, and the ability to think on our feet that truly drives success. Breaking traditional moulds and embracing new approaches can lead to extraordinary outcomes.
Whether you're considering a career in engineering or looking to innovate in your field, remember that success comes from a mix of hard work, ambition, and perseverance. Think boldly, challenge the status quo, and explore how you can make a difference in your own way.
The future is bright for those who dare to dream and act with determination.
Have you ever imagined yourself being at the heart of cutting-edge technology, where every day brings new challenges and opportunities for growth? Imagine navigating a world of complex machinery and technical challenges, all while mastering the art of detailed note-taking and problem-solving. This is the daily reality for me as a third-year electrical apprentice at Mazak. Over the past 2 years, I've had the privilege of immersing myself in every facet of our factory floor, from gaining hands-on experience with intricate electrical systems on our CNC production lines to sheet metal working. I've explored the full spectrum of our manufacturing process. Each rotation has deepened my understanding and broadened my skill set. Precision is key in our field, and I've embraced this wholeheartedly. By crafting my logbook entries in the second person, I've ensured clarity and accountability, which is then commendations for my supervisors. My detailed notes have even become a benchmark for fellow apprentices, underscoring the value of meticulous documentation in achieving excellence. But it's not just about what I've accomplished so far. I'm currently a part of a groundbreaking coolant pump project aimed at evaluating the carbon pricing based on greenhouse gas emissions. This initiative is not only about optimising efficiency, but also about making a tangible impact on our environmental footprint. Our work on this project will help determine the financial and environmental impacts of our equipment, guiding future decisions on pump replacements. This directly supports Mazak's commitment to sustainability and cost effectiveness, demonstrating how technical innovation can drive real-world change. I face challenges beyond the factory floor. As an apprentice ambassador, I've conducted 26 factory tours, represented Mazak at 14 careers fairs, and delivered numerous presentations to students about the benefits of an apprenticeship. Each experience, although initially daunting, has been a stepping stone in building my confidence and technical knowledge. Some people might think that an apprenticeship is just about technical skills, but it's so much more. It's about personal growth, leadership, and community involvement. My role as an apprentice ambassador has allowed me to inspire others and demonstrate that apprenticeships are a gateway to both professional and personal development. Engineering isn't just about creating things, it's about innovating, solving problems, and making a meaningful impact. I hope that my story will encourage others to embrace the world of apprenticeships and discover their own path towards making a difference.
What a pair of apprentices. I'm now delighted to announce that the 2024 Mary George Memorial Prize for Apprentices goes to Alexia Williams. Congratulations. Let's keep the applause going, folks.
So thank you very much
for awarding me this. So this is now my second apprenticeship. I finished last month, so I'm now technically no longer an apprentice, which I'm really happy about, so no more education, but it's been 6 long years, and I'm so glad that I did it via the apprenticeship route. And anyone I meet, I always say, do it via an apprenticeship, especially if you want to go into the engineering field, because it's second to none with the hands-on experience, no student debt, and the salary and everything else you get with it, so that's brilliant. Thanks.
Well done, Alexia, and we'd like to state that we will not be taking the award back off her, given that she's finished her apprenticeship. Once an apprentice, you know, it stays with you, right? This year, the judges found the standard of entries for the award to be so high that they've actually awarded a highly commended Mary George Apprenticeship Award, which goes to Erin. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna stay. Now, Erin, please join us after the ceremony to collect your certificate. And one more time, a huge congratulations to both of our finalist apprentices. It's now time to meet our remaining finalists, starting with Marisa Kurimbokas.
Have you ever wondered what it takes to push the boundaries of innovation? Leading a team of brilliant minds, each contributing to the future of sustainable energy and high-performance engineering. This is where our journey begins. The intersection of passion, leadership, and cutting-edge technology. Imagine a motor spinning 50 times faster than a car engine, compressor blades exceeding the speed of sound, floating on nothing but air. All this to drive the next generation of hydrogen fuel cell technology, the future of net zero transport.
This is what I do. I turn complex engineering challenges into revolutionary solutions.
My challenge every day is leading a multifaceted team of engineering specialists combining passion, innovation and expertise to create state-of-the-art air compressors. There is no rule book for what we do, no benchmarks to copy. This is the definition of cutting-edge technology. But what if I told you we're just scratching the surface? To continue to push the boundaries even further, we need a cohesive, motivated team that can collaborate, taking inspiration from all areas and turning these great ideas into reality. Hydrogen fuel cells, powered by our compressors, are at the forefront of clean energy solutions. They hold the potential to revolutionise transport, reduce carbon emissions, and create a more sustainable future for all of us.
Engineering is often seen as a rigid, numbers-driven field, but in reality, it's a creative and dynamic profession that requires empathy, collaboration, and vision.
I'm a firm believer that inspiration can come from anywhere around us, and having a diverse team is crucial for this. I'm passionate about challenging stereotypes and broadening the perception of what it means to be an engineer, nurturing diversity and creativity at every level to drive innovation. What's my message? Be bold. Challenge what you see around you. Question why things have to be the way they are. Ask, what if? We all have ideas of how to make the world better. Engineers are in the privileged position of being able to make that change. So why not join me? Together, we can solve the world's biggest challenges and create the future that we want to see, starting today.
I love that. What if, as you ride off into the distance on your motorbike? What incredible work Marisa is doing, developing that intersection between innovative technology, leadership and sustainability. Now let's go straight to the next video and meet our next finalist, Natalie Parker.
What does it take to ensure the safe and efficient operation of one of the most complex industrial sites in the world?
At Sellafield, the past, present and future of nuclear energy converge. The role of engineering isn't just critical, it's transformational.
As a technical specialist, I have the privilege of guiding and mentoring engineers, utilising our new off-site development facility to create a central location to problem solve and innovate on obsolete and complex control systems. With innovation and creativity, we're not just maintaining the systems of today, we're pioneering the technologies of tomorrow. Advancements we're making at Sellafield doesn't just matter to engineers, they matter to everyone. The work I do supports complex nuclear facilities in decommissioning to create a clean and safe environment for future generations.
Many people think engineering is purely technical, but in reality, it's deeply human.
It's about problem solving, collaboration, and making the world a better place.
The misconception that technology is a male-dominated field is something I'm working hard to change.
Proving that diversity is not just beneficial, it's essential. I encourage everyone, whether you're in the field of engineering or not, to think about how you can contribute to a more inclusive, innovative and safe world. Whether it's mentoring a young engineer, supporting diversity in your workplace, or simply staying curious about the technology that shapes our lives, every action counts. Let's work together to create a future where technology empowers us all.
Couldn't agree more, Natalie. It's about the safety and what happens next for future generations. Such vital work that you are doing to support complex nuclear facilities, creating a clean and safe environment for those future generations, and ultimately making the world a better place. Thank you. And now for our final finalists, Salma Al-Arefi.
Have you ever wondered what it truly means to belong? Not just to be a part of community, but to authentically feel connected, valued and empowered within it. Imagine a young woman, underage, leaving everything familiar behind, crossing continents to a place where she doesn't speak the language, yet she holds into one thing, her dream of becoming an engineer. That young woman was me, and today I stand before you as a testament to the power, perseverance, education, and the transformative impact of belonging. At the University of Leeds, we've made significant strides in engineering education. We continue to promote inclusivity, enhance student education, and have been recognised nationally and internationally for our efforts. But what if we could do more? What if we could redefine engineering education by focusing on creating a deep sense of belonging for all students, especially those who are disadvantaged, underrepresented or marginalised? Imagine the possibilities where students don't just learn, but they thrive because they feel they truly belong. This is not just theoretical. My work in projects like Engineering a Sense of Belonging has shown that when women in engineering feel connected and valued, their performance, retention and career satisfaction soar. It's more than just numbers, it's about creating an environment where innovation and creativity flourish because everyone feels enabled, valued and celebrated. I know the challenges of being a minority in a field dominated by others. As a woman who stammers from a minority ethnic background, I have navigated cultural stereotypes, language barriers, and the loneliness of being the only one in the room. But these experiences have fueled my passion for advocacy, public engagement, and research, because I know firsthand how powerful it feels when someone says, "You belong here." So, I challenge you today, whether you're a student, an educator or an industry professional, to think about how you can contribute to fostering this sense of belonging. Let's work together to create an engineering community where every voice is heard, every person is valued, and everyone knows they belong.
Couldn't agree more, Salma, right? We talk so much about going from just being tolerated in these spaces to being celebrated in these spaces. And that's something for folks with agency, with power as educators and in industry to work towards. It's so great also to hear how you've persevered and succeeded in your dream of becoming an engineer and how you are now promoting this to other young women. Now, before we hear who our winner is this year, we're going to keep you on tenterhooks for ever so slightly longer. Apologies, folks. We're going to hear from last year's Young Women Engineer of the Year, Titi Oleide, to find out what she's been up to since winning the award. And it looks like a lot because you're glowing more this year than you were even glowing last year when you won. Now, Titi is a chartered engineer with a background in chemical engineering and a passion for enabling the energy transition and experience in safety and reliability engineering for major projects in the energy and transport infrastructure industries. She's currently a senior process safety engineer in the green hydrogen industry, leading the safety and operation of innovative electrolyzer technology development. She's also passionate about demystifying and encouraging diversity in the engineering profession, and she currently does this, in addition to being our winner from last year, by leading STEM outreach programs, authoring blog articles, delivering technical talks on the energy transition, and mentorship of other engineers in her spare time, which is massive because how does she even have the spare time to do all of those things and everything else I've already said that she's done? And it doesn't stop there. Her contributions have been recognised through the receipt of awards such as our 2023 IET Young Women Engineer of the Year Awards. And just before that, she was named on the 2023 Women's Engineering Society's Top 50 Women in Engineering Award. I'm out of breath, so please, everybody, put your hands together for the 2023 Young Women Engineer of the Award, Titi Oleide.
Thank you, Anne-Marie, for the introduction. It's an honor to be here as the 2023 IET Young Woman Engineer of the Year, celebrating the remarkable achievements of women in engineering in this stunning venue. First and foremost, I'd like to say congratulations to the finalists. Tonight is about celebrating your incredible achievements and the profound impact that you're making in improving diversity in engineering. And so I hope you are enjoying every moment. So congratulations once again. So I vividly remember being in your shoes last year, just like it was yesterday. I think we've taken a picture like this already. And, you know, the excitement, the nerves, and the overwhelming joy of, you know, being recognized as one of the, you know, finalists. It was unforgettable, really. And before the winner was announced, Anne-Marie actually used some powerful words. She said, you know, this winner is a leader, a role model, and a change maker. And then she calls my name. I mean, sorry. To say that I was pleasantly surprised is an understatement, right? That picture says it all. And I mean, to be named the winner of the year for YW for 2023 was truly humbling. I think it dawned on me that I had joined a fantastic lineup of past winners, some of whom are here. Hello, Amma. Hello, Sophie. Hello. And so, you know, it's that, you know, have achieved so much and continue to innovate and do such amazing things. And that moment, you know, sort of marked the start of what I would call a year of celebration, growth, and impact. The ambassadorial and role model opportunities came thick and fast. Thankfully, I didn't have to go for a 6 a.m. BBC interview, just like Amma had mentioned last year. God knows I needed my beauty sleep. But I had the honor of hosting the IET Annual Dinner and Excellence and Innovation Awards, and I got the opportunity to gather with industry leaders and innovators in the engineering profession. I also got the opportunity to promote the IET Futures Fund, which is doing amazing and phenomenal work to empower the next generation of engineers through scholarships and STEM development programs. I was invited to radio interviews, which was a first and new and absolutely enjoyable experience for me. And I absolutely enjoyed being the IET spokesperson for the research on barriers and solutions to gender diversity in engineering to mark International Women's Day. I also got the chance to chair sessions and moderate a panel discussion at the just concluded IIT Powering Net Zero conference, where I was able to lend my voice and engage with other thought leaders in critical conversations about the energy transition. I was interviewed by thousands of primary school students. Kids asked the darndest questions. I spoke to hundreds of university students and young professionals, and also contributed to the important discussion on curriculum design in plugging the engineering skills gap. I also got the opportunity to speak at various conferences in the past year. These are pictures from the Ripple Effects Conference, which was a much-needed residential conference that was curated by Yewande Akinola for women in engineering and technology. And the conference showcased the opportunities for women to innovate and impact, make a positive impact, and for male engineers as well to support and advocate for diversity in the engineering industry. The Electric Dreams Conference, which was organized by Don Botfield and team in collaboration with the IIT, was also an opportunity to celebrate, the work that women had, the contributions of women to electricity and in the past century, and a charge for us to continue to impact through the work that we do in the energy transition space for the present and the future. And I also had the opportunity to speak at the WERS conference, which had a great lineup of speakers where we discussed the importance of enhancing lives through engineering. Now, this is a quick whistle-stop tour through the year, and it's safe to say that I've enjoyed and had an absolutely incredibly exciting year and truly impactful one as well. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself and met amazing people, and hopefully managed to show that engineers can have a good sense of style as well. So as you can see, finalists, you've got a busy, busy, busy year ahead. So believe me, your calendar will become your best friend as you navigate the whirlwind of engagements, invitations, and events as well. So, and you also have to balance that with your work and your family life. So yeah, good luck with that. Make sure the calendar is your best friend. Alternatively, if you have plans or if you happen to invent a time machine that lets you be in two places at once, please let me know. And I would like to use that as well. Definitely enjoy your engineering celebrity status. You absolutely deserve to be celebrated. And don't forget, your authenticity and your unique perspective is your strength. There's at least one girl, young girl out there, or young person out there that would be encouraged and inspired by your unique story. So I'll leave you with these words by Mother Teresa. I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot, and together we can do great things. So the previous winners of the YWE, the IIT family, are all here for you, and you also have yourselves, you have each other as well. So please do not hesitate to reach out and collaborate to do work together. As you've all mentioned in your VTs as well, there's engineering is all about teamwork and problem solving. So please let's work together as well. And as I reflect on this year, I'm filled with gratitude. I'm deeply thankful to the IIT family for making this journey seamless and fulfilling. Honestly, I couldn't have done it without them. So thank you very much to Laura, to the Chief Exec, Ed Almond, to Vice President Yewande Akinola, Sophie, Helen, Graham, Daisy, Emily, Rebecca, Owen, everyone, Simon, Jasmine, thank you so much. This is just to mention a few people, but thank you very much for your unwavering support. And I would like to thank also Amma, the past YWE winner, for the tips and the encouragement. Thank you so, so much. And I would also like to say thank you to my company and the leadership of my company, Supercritical Solutions, for their support. And finally, thank you to my family and my friends for their love and always tirelessly cheering me on. Looking ahead, I'm filled with hope and renewed strength because we have a shared responsibility to advocate for better representation and greater diversity and more opportunities for us to have women lead in the engineering industry. The YWE platform has given me that opportunity to combine two of my passions, advocating for women in engineering and championing the progress in the energy industry. And winning this award has shown me what's possible when we work together for change. And I'm more inspired to continue to be that role model and ambassador for women in engineering. And so to the engineering community, the IET, and everyone here tonight, thank you for believing in the power of engineering and the part that women engineers play in truly transforming our world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Titi. What a year that you've had. I've only just caught up my breath from introducing you, and now I'm out of breath again. I'm sure you'll agree she was an exceptional winner who's continued to contribute so much to the profession through her year as YWE winner. And what fantastic finalists we have this year. Now, before we announce our award winners, I'd also like to thank the judging panel, who has demonstrated earlier, and you've seen across all of the VTs, had an incredibly difficult time in shortlisting this year's candidates and ultimately choosing the award winners tonight. And every year, the standard of applications is so impressive. It continues to grow and improve year on year, and the judges really do have a tough task on their hands. So a round of applause and a thank you to our judges. So now our third award of the evening, which is the Women's Engineering Society Prize, or the WES Prize for short. Now this prize is donated by WES, the Women's Engineering Society, with whom the IET have a long-standing and close working relationship. And this prize is awarded to an outstanding young woman engineer who's engaging and inspiring young people's involvement in STEM subjects. I'm delighted to announce that the 2024 WES Prize goes to... Thank you. Golden envelopes, a little bit more drama. Drum roll, please, maybe, in the audience. Natalie Parker. Congratulations. Let's keep the applause going, folks.
Thank you so much. I did not prepare a speech at all because I didn't expect to be here, never mind stood on a stage. Thank you to everyone who's been so supportive, amazing colleagues of two of who are here tonight, my mum and dad and husband who have travelled down. How amazing to be recognised for something I genuinely am so passionate and love doing every single day. To be an inspiration to my children, my 5-year-old daughter who's turned around and said that one day she wants to be an engineer like Mammy. So for me, that's always a win. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Natalie, and congratulations to your 5-year-old daughter. We're all willing her on. That was a round of applause in advance for her. So finally, we come to the main award of the night. I'm going to slow down again for dramatic effect as the award arrives on stage. This is the IET's Young Woman Engineer of the Year 2024 award. Now, this is given, as we all know, as we've built up to an exceptional woman. Can I get a whoop whoop? A pioneer, a leader, and an inspiration to us all. I think you're tired of the whooping now, aren't you? Right, so a final drum roll as we find out who it is. The 2024 Young Women Engineer of the Award goes to Marissa Kurimbokas.
Wow. Sugar and spice and all things nice. That's what little girls are made of. Slugs and snails and puppy dogs' tails. That's what little boys are made of. From day one, we're taught that girls should be kind and pretty and beautiful, and boys are allowed to get their hands dirty. So what's that mean for women in engineering? I don't just want a car that's fast. I want it to look good, and I want it to be safe for my family. I don't just want energy to my home. I want it to be reliable, and I want to know that it's not harming the environment. The list goes on, but in short, I don't want to have to settle. And when I look around the room today and I look at my fellow finalists, I know I don't have to. I'm so honoured to receive this award today. Words can't express. But today is about celebrating women engineers everywhere, in particular the incredible talent in the room that we have. And also to promise that we're going to continue working together to make the planet and the future sweeter, brighter, better, and dare I say it, more beautiful. Thank you so much.
What a winner's speech. What a winner. She was ready, wasn't she, folks? Absolutely. 2025. Look out. Marissa is coming. My goodness. Well, that just about brings this year's ceremony to a close, but the party certainly doesn't stop here. For those of you online, continue to boogie on at home. Thank you very much for joining us. But for those of you here in London, we would like you to join us on the Riverside Room upstairs for some food, some drinks, a steel band who will play any music that you request, I've been told, and an opportunity to meet our dedicated sponsors. Now, we'd like to thank our sponsors, without whom events and campaigns like this wouldn't be able to happen. Their hard work and support and really putting their money where their mouths are for this cause inspires us and enables us and empowers us to put on a great event for you all this year, but also to continue on with that legacy of these stories, of this inspiration, of the change we really need to see across the industry and in education, as we've heard tonight. So a big round of applause and a thank you to them. So for those of you here tonight, as we close up, I'd like you to make your way upstairs for the rest of the evening. But I think the final word I'd like to say is to our winners and our finalists. You are all incredible. And I know that you will all continue to inspire people like you've inspired us all tonight. Thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your evenings.